Do you know the steps you should take when you're looking to hire a tax attorney? I'm Andrew Bosserman, tax attorney and founder of Boss Tax Law. And in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips to consider when you're looking to hire a tax attorney. So, first, when you discover that you have a tax issue that you might need an attorney's help from, the first step is to find a list of potential attorneys you might potentially want to work with. One way to do this is to just look online, Google, um, to find attorneys in your area or even in other parts of the country that handle IRS resolution and dispute issues. Also, it's good to ask professionals you know, such as CPAs or other attorneys. They might have some tax attorneys they've worked with before, or even friends and family. They might know of some tax attorneys or have had a similar situation in the past. Also, it's important to note that you're not confined to working with an attorney in your geographical area for federal tax issues, which is anything dealing with the IRS. And this is because it has to do with federal law. Um, so an attorney, in another state or part of the country can help you. In fact, I work with taxpayers and business owners across the country. Um, and it's different than say estate planning or real estate where you really need an attorney in your state because that's dealing with state law, but IRS is federal law, so you can work with any attorney across the country. um, then for any potential attorneys, you're going to want to take a look at their credentials. So, what type of educational background do they have? An attorney needs at least to have a law degree and to pass the bar exam. But tax law is unique. Generally, there's not enough classes in law school to learn everything you need to know about tax. So, a tax attorney should have some other tax experience. So that could be getting an LLM, which is a graduate legal degree in tax. That could be having an accounting background or working as a CPA, or it could also be IRS experience. So, for example, I have an accounting degree. I'm also a CPA, and I worked for the IRS for a few years. So that's my tax experience. I don't have an LLM, which is a graduate degree in tax. But for example, some other attorneys might have gone through law school, then gotten an LLM, which gave them their tax experience and are now working. So, just a combination of some of those tax background will be really helpful because if attorney or someone else you're looking to hire to help you with your tax issue doesn't have that type of background, then they likely won't be able to get as good of a result because they might not understand the issues or know how to work with the IRS as well. Third, you should then reach out to potential attorneys to see if they can work with you and to set up a quick consultation. So some firms provide free initial consultations, some charge, but generally in an initial consultation, you'll want to discuss things with the attorney, such as, have you handled similar cases before? What is your background in handling my type of case? How do you think we might be able to resolve it? How long do you think it will take? You're also going to want to discuss things like fees. There are multiple different ways attorneys charge fees. There's really three common ways. There's hourly billing, there's flat fees, and there's contingent fees. So in hourly billing, an attorney will bill you an hourly rate based on how much time they spend on your case. This can be a little difficult for you to know how much you're going to end up paying because it's based on the attorney's time. But if an attorney uses hourly billing, you should definitely ask for an estimate up front just to know approximately how much it will cost. That's different than a flat fee. So a flat fee is generally a flat dollar amount, say hundreds or thousands of dollars, that the attorney says, I will perform these services for you. But it's good to definitely review the scope of those services because sometimes, due to unforeseen circumstances, you might owe a little extra, if, say, something else comes up or your case ends up being more complicated than usual. But in a flat fee, generally, you pay a set amount for the services the attorney is going to perform for you. And finally, there are contingent fees. Contingent fees, generally you pay no money up front, but the attorney, if successful, will take a portion of, say, a tax refund you receive or some other settlement. This is very common in personal injury cases, but it can also be used in certain tax situations, oftentimes if for claims for refund or in litigation. So it's just important to know how the attorney is going to charge you fees. For example, I try to charge flat fees as much as possible, but we'll do hourly in some cases. And if a case makes sense for contingency, then I will, offer that as an option as well. Finally, you should also just discuss with the attorney and get a idea of their personality and how they work with the IRS. There's different personality types and also different, strategies or just preferred methods of dealing with the IRS. Some attorneys tend to be more hard-nosed litigation bulldog types, where others tend to be more, cooperative or, easy. I don't want to say easygoing, but, try to work with the IRS reasonably. Try to cooperate is maybe the best term to use. There's no right or wrong way to deal with the IRS. And sometimes it's based on experience, but also where you are at in the stage of the dispute with the IRS. For example, based on my experience as a prior IRS agent, oftentimes I like to try to work with the agent or the appeals officer to come to a resolution of the issue we can agree upon. But there are certain times, maybe if it gets into litigation or you're dealing with a difficult agent or officer, you might have to be a little tougher and act more hard-nosed to get the result you want. But it's important to feel that out and also to make sure that you can work well, your personalities mesh with the attorney you want to hire, because there's nothing worse than knocking along with the attorney who's supposed to represent you. You definitely want to make sure that you like the attorney you're working with, you trust them, and believe they're going to get a good result for you. So these are just a few quick tips as you're looking to hire a tax attorney. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if I can help you with a tax issue or point you in the right direction of someone else who can.